Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you. Late night in the heartland. Thank you. Oh, you're too kind. Oh, thank you very much. A big night, a new week, late night in the heartland, and we are welcoming you here. We'll be here till 1 a.m., ladies and gentlemen, and you are welcome to call, but not yet. I'll tell you when the line's open. And, it just continues on the fun, the frivolity in our political system here in America. I read today that Nancy Pelosi rejected the president of the United States stimulus package today. She rejected the president's stimulus package. But we all know that deep down in her heart of hearts, when Nancy's lying alone in her bed at night, she dreams of being stimulated by the president's package. You know it's true. And so does Adam Schiff, ladies and gentlemen. So does Adam Schiff. It's the truth. It's the truth. And Mitt Romney, it looks like, has decided to act like a Republican possibly during these hearings. And I think it might have something to do with the Clinton email dump, because that could actually have Mitt dumping in his magic underwear. That's all I'm saying. It could be. It could be. It could be. It really could be. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got. Cynthia X, my last joke. I'm like Joe Biden without a teleprompter up here. I got nothing left, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. That's it. Nothing. Oh, well, it's a good thing we got a great, great show for you coming up. And we do. We've got a fantastic show tonight. We got a new phone system. Everything, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be fantastic here tonight. Before we go to the phone lines, we always want to go to our good news for a change. And the good news for a change is found at jeffreydaugherty.com. If you don't know what that looks like, ladies and gentlemen, well, just feast your eyes on this. This is jeffreydaugherty.com. And this is where all the cool kids hang out. This is where the action happens, folks. And we have a special feature here called Good News. And every day, your tireless Christian whistleblower is working for you, and he's putting together good news of the day. Today, the World Health Organization officially urges world leaders to stop using lockdowns as primary virus control methods. A poll which correctly called the 2016 election sees another shocking outcome in November. Let's look at a couple of these in detail, but these are here, and they're here every day for you, every weekday, and we want you to take advantage of this. We want you to be able to see and to know that no matter what everybody else tells you, there is some really good news out there, folks. And you can see the World Health Organization officials urge the world leaders to stop using lockdowns as a primary virus control method. It's just not necessary. We in the WHO do not advocate lockdowns as a primary means of control of the virus. So yet here's Sleepy Joe saying, "I'd lock it all down, lock it down, lock it down," folks. Not only is it time for us to stop accepting the lockdowns, it's time for them to stop doing them. In the poll, which correctly predicted that Donald Trump would beat Hillary Clinton in 2016, sees another shocking outcome in November. They see Donald Trump, ladies and gentlemen, beating Joe Biden. And we'll talk about that here tonight, because there's no way that they win, they being the Democrats, unless they steal the election. And we've got what I think is incontrovertible proof to show you tonight. There's just no way that Joe Biden wins this election. No way in hell. And just to make you feel a little more solid in your belief in that, let me share this with you. I want to share this right here. And look at that. 13 polls in October 2016 that showed Hillary Clinton with a big lead over Donald Trump. And the gist of this story is that the same 13 polls, a flurry of recent polls, show Joe Biden leading the president by double digits with less than a month to go. In fact, the Real Clear Politics average of polls shows Biden enjoying almost a 10-point lead over Trump. They said the same things at the same times about Hillary Clinton last year. So do not let your hearts be troubled. Do not be dismayed, ladies and gentlemen, because they were lying to us then. They're lying to us now, and we're about to prove it. Everybody remember Bob Dole? I know Bob Dole wasn't the greatest guy, wasn't the greatest senator, but people here, I'm in Kansas. People, I hate these ads, how they pop up. You probably can't hear it. But people here in Kansas still have some reverence for Bob Dole, and Bob is not doing great. So I appreciate when Bob Dole comes out and says things like this. Bob Dole, ladies and gentlemen, ex-Senator Bob Dole has come out, and he's talking about the situation that is going on with the debate commission. Bob Dole is concerned that the debate commission is full of never Trumpers. And it's true. A biased debate commission is unfair. And whatever happens with this political cycle, we have to replace this debate commission. It's not fair and it doesn't work. And the good news is that people like Bob Dole, who's not exactly a flaming conservative, are understanding that, they are appreciating that, and they know what is going on. And one more thing, I don't think I'll share it with you. The American Bar Association gave Supreme Court nominee Judge Amy Coney Barrett its highest rating. The American Bar Association, which again is not a flaming conservative organization, they give Judge Barrett their highest rating, folks, their very highest rating. Now, let me go through the, and he said he was going to pick Cuomo for AG. You can't have an attorney general. Cuomo should need to have an attorney, not be considered for attorney general. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we want to do is we're going to open the phone lines in just a second. There's only two rules. One is be interesting. Two is be polite. Probably be polite is number one, and then be interesting is number two. Now, when you call, and the new number is on the screen, and I'll tell you the new number. When you call, you're going to hear an electronic voice that says, welcome to the Christian Whistleblower. Press 0. What you want to do is press 0. When you come on, you're going to hear, welcome to the Christian Whistleblower. You want to press 0 to talk to the operator. I'm your operator. I'm your smooth operator. Yes, I am, ladies and gentlemen. Have no fears. It might take me a minute to get the hang of this, but I think it's going to work, and I think it's going to work really, really well. So, folks, and it's going to be kind of odd because I'm going to be sharing the screen because I think I need to share the screen for the voice to come through. And if you call while I'm on a call, you're going to, I think you're going to show up here, and I'm going to put you on hold. And I'll have a list of people that are on hold, and we'll go to the people in the order that they called in. Unless, if you want to do a Super Pal chat, as you see over my shoulder, you can go to paypal.me/Jeffrey Daugherty, and you can put in a Super Pal chat donation. And it says, leave a note, put in your phone number on that note. And when the Super Pal chat pops up in my email, I will see your number and I will take your call first. So you can cut in line, in effect. Let's look at the chat room real quick first before we jump into the email. And moderators, we're not going to have any leniency in the chat. If people are trying to troll in the chat or be critical in the chat, then we're not going to let them do that. We're going to remove their comment, because if you want to be negative in the chat, if you have something negative to say, if you have something corrective to say, if you think I'm wrong, if you think I'm a dick, you got to have the balls to make the calls, ladies and gentlemen. You just have to do it. And with that, guess what, folks? It's your favorite time of night. It's the time that we're all been waiting for, ladies and gentlemen. It is just about time. With the sick prepper drum solo from our own Chuck, it's time to get in to the phone lines. The phone number, ladies and gentlemen, let me move Chuck out of the way. The phone number is 913-279-0831. You see it. Be it. Dial it. Boom, Chuck. Thanks for taking us in to the great time of night that we're all here for. So the phone line is open, and here comes the first call. Let's see how I can do this. Here it goes. Hello, it is late night in the heartland, and you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeff, it's Chuck T from Georgia. What's happening, brother?
Hey, Chuck, how are you, my friend? How are you?
I'm doing better. A little better than not better at all.
Absolutely. And please, in the chat room, let me know how well you, oh, I didn't share the screen. My bad. Give me a second. Hold on 1 second, Chuck. All right. I shared that screen, and people can see more than they need to see probably. But, and we got another caller coming in. So let me answer this. I think I got to answer this call and put it on hold. I'm going to put it on. Whoops, it went away. So they must have dropped off. That's okay. So anyway, you're with us, Chuck. What's up?
Oh, not too much, man. Just another week. Sort of had this I wouldn't call it a revelation, but you do so much work and you reach out to so many people. I'm just having a sort of a dilemma as far, not personally, but like just empathetically with the people in this world. And this, I know a lot of people are waking up. I can tell. I mean, you go on CNN pages, channels on YouTube, and people are just talking shit on CNN, calling them up on their bullshit. And it's, that's cool, but you just got these indoctrinated morons walking around with crosses around their neck. They don't even understand, what the fuck that even means.
Right.
They have no idea. They call themselves Christians, but they want to come in here and take up time and talk shit and troll. How do you get through that? I mean, how do you do it? I mean, it must take a lot of patience, and it must come through a lot of years of dealing with a lot of morons. But
well, unfortunately,
for ignorance.
Unfortunately, Chuck, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Unfortunately, I don't know if what I'm going to say is really completely true, but it's kind of my feelings about things. And what I've seen is that you don't really get through to a whole lot of people. Unfortunately, you just got to keep doing the deal and keep doing what you do and keep on believing. And you don't get through to a lot of people individually, but when you're in an environment like this, you can get through to a great number of people. But you do it, baby steps, like one at a time, two at a time, because, we're going out. And I mean, the other night we had Australia, we had New Zealand, we had all of these places, calling in, and I get the emails, I get the the comments that people are saying that it's changing their lives, and I get them on a daily basis. So even if it's only one a day, Chuck, and we're changing 7 lives every week, it's worth it to me. And I think there's more than that going on. Yeah. And like Tracy said, we can't wait. We can't worry about whether we're affecting people or not. We just have to do what we're supposed to do.
Well, really, there is more of a personal level to it, because my aunt, she's in her 80s, and she's been just die hard. Like, I was raised Pauline Baptist, and I went to church with her and my uncle. She's in her mid-80s now, and she had a heart attack 2 years ago and had quintuple bypass surgery. So it's one of those things where it's like, she lives right next door. I would love to help her out, but yeah, I feel like it's too late. You know, I mean,
and you know, Chuck, I started feeling a lot better.
Higher.
Sorry, Chuck, I started feeling a lot better when I realized that it wasn't my job to convert people.
Exactly. It's just funny how it's the exact opposite with Christians. They want to be like the Jehovah's Witnesses. They want to go door to door. Hell, I invited them into my house when I lived in Thomasville. I said, come in. You know, I need metal music blaring. And they were like, no, we got to go. I was like, no, come on, come talk. We want to talk. Let's come in. And they're like, we really need to go. There's the people's houses to stop at. And so that's a good way to run them off.
It sounds like it's a good way to run them off.
Yeah, we just blare some metal music and come out with long red hair. So good running.
Blare metal music and come out with long red hair, and that does it, huh?
Yeah, the red hair of the devil, right?
Oh, that's true. That's true. I didn't think about that. So, I mean, it's very, very interesting stuff. It really is. And, you know, we do what we got to do. We do what we can. And, you know, I'm sitting here talking to you, trying to figure out the screen here, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to figure it out. I'm trying to get it moved off of my phone number. But anyway, Chuck, I appreciate you calling in. Did you have anything else for us tonight?
Well, I just wanted to say, man, I've been spreading your message a little bit on Facebook. I've got close to 5,000 people on my friends list.
Excellent.
So yeah, every time I come across it, I get these Christians that come on there, and I just say, hey, this is his name. This is what he does. This, you know, you don't have to do it, but you know, just check it out. Give it a go. Start with the ABCs of Christianity, and if you don't want to watch it, nobody's going to make it.
That's for sure.
You can't make them drink. You damn sure can make them think. So.
No, I mean, we always say we can bring you to the water, but we can't make you drink. We can bring you to objective truth, but we can't make you think. That's up to you, right. And it's something you got to do yourself. That's just the way it is.
Yep. What about those 40,000 or 400,000 ballots, Republican ballots that found in the garbage?
Yeah, it's crazy. It really is just absolutely nuts. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's ridiculous. It's a mess. And
well, it's all going to be good. He beat Hillary. He'll beat Sleepy Joe.
I think he will too. I think he will too.
Oh yeah, it's a done deal. And like we've talked about this before, it's going to go one way or two ways. And I'm certain that he's going back in.
I am too. Because, I am too. I believe it.
Yeah. Well, I won't take up any more time. I just wanted to say hey and make sure everybody's doing okay. So I'll let you go on to the next call and figure out that screen system, buddy.
Yeah, we'll get it figured out. All right, Chuck. Thanks so much for calling in. I appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, obviously the line is open and the line stays open. I don't know. See, if I share it like I'm doing, then I can click the button, which will allow the sound to come through the computer, which obviously is a much better sound for the podcast. But, you know, it covers up my call-in number, but that's okay. That's how it goes. The phone number, and I don't know this phone number yet, so the phone number is 913-279-0831. The phone number is 913-279-0831. That's the phone number where you can call in, ladies and gentlemen. And it's been just a fascinating day. You know, I'm more and more convinced that this election is really effectively over. I don't think there's any way that we can say that this election is not effectively over. I mean, look at things like this. I want to show you a few things, and the phone line is open. You can call in at your leisure, but I want to show you just a couple of things that really warm my heart. I think they're amazing. We're going to go and look at my Twitter just for a second, and we'll make it big again and make me small again. If you look at this one right here. This is somebody's 93-year-old grandmother. She's got a heart condition, but she's still active. She gets out of her house. Today, she went out, voted early for President Trump in person in Virginia, and voted red, a Republican, straight down the ticket. Folks, if this precious 93-year-old grandmother can go out and vote, then we can carry our ass out and vote for President Trump. I encourage you to get out there, and I encourage you to get out and vote. just like this great lady did, ladies and gentlemen, just like that great lady did. And there's also some other great information on Twitter today. This was a good Twitter day, but we'll get back to that right after we take this call. Sorry, let me get up here and take your call. It is late night in the Heartland, and you are live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Where can I get one of those jackets?
You know, I got this jacket off of the internet from some Chinese website, and it took a long time for it to get here, but it's surprisingly good quality, and it's a lot of fun. So you have to go on the internet and do some searching to be able to find one of these beauties.
Well, okay. So how about the glasses? Can I get some of those too?
The glasses come from Swanwick. They're blue blocker glasses for wearing around the computer. And if you go to Swanwick, they got them for sale.
Okay.
Any other questions that you have?
Well, what is Christian Whistleblower? I don't quite understand what that means.
Okay, well, let me explain it to you. You remember how Edward Snowden was in the NSA, right? And he started whistleblowing on the NSA because he found out they were doing some stuff that were bad for people.
I sure do.
Okay, so I was for 20 years a Christian minister, licensed full-time Christian minister. And during those 20 years, much like Edward Snowden, I saw what I identify as cracks in the foundation of big time religion. So now I am blowing the whistle on big time religion, sharing things that people need to know, or at least I think they need to know, that they deserve to know, to make a full and complete decision on what is going on in big time religion. That's what the Christian Whistleblower is. Does that make any sense to you at all?
It sure does. Do you have any good guests that come on?
This is not a guest-driven show right here. This is we may have some guests that come on, but this isn't a guest-driven show right now. Hold on, caller. We'll be right with you. Sorry about that. But yeah, this isn't a guest-driven show like that, of that type of show. Does that make sense? You can't hear me right now, can you? Learning how to use this. Are you back with me, caller? Missed call on hold. Shoot. It's late night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hi, this is Mother of Dragons. How are you?
I'm great, Mother of Dragons. I'm just trying to figure out how to use this call system, man. It's perplexing me a little bit, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll get it figured out. We're patient. We're patient.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm trying to hide phone numbers as much as I can, but it doesn't look like I can completely hide them. So, I apologize for that.
Oh, I see. Yeah. I'm watching you on the screen here on my TV.
Yeah, I'm doing my best.
The reason I called is, this whole journey with you has been like peeling off the layers of an onion. And sometimes I've had to put it aside and walk away. Because it's just, when you're born into the church, it's just really painful.
It really is. Welcome, caller. I'm going to put you on hold. Now, how do I get back to Mother of Dragons, ladies and gentlemen? How do I get back to Mother of Dragons? It should be right here, right? Are you with me? She's not with me. How do I get back to her? Go over here, unknown caller. So one's on hold. Here's the unknown caller. How do I get back to that one? Unknown caller. I don't want to put it in the trash. I want to go back to her. Unknown caller. I'm gonna have to work on this tonight. We're gonna have to just do one call at a time because I don't know how to go back to this caller right here. You think you just click on it, but you don't just click on it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know what to do. Sorry about that. Here we go. It's Late Night in the Heartland, and you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Yeah, you just cut me off. I was the guy that was asking about your jacket and glasses.
Yeah, I know. I tried to take another call, and I think if I just let them go, they'll go automatically to voicemail. First night with the new system, so sorry about that. Didn't do it on purpose. So continue on.
Yeah, I was asking about guests, and you said you didn't have any guests on. Is that right? You never have any guests?
Well, on this channel, we have a lot of guests. This particular show is you are the guest. It's a call in all night long. You set the topics. I take calls from anybody and everybody. So this particular show does not have guests typically, except for all of the callers, and they really are the most important guests, and those are the guests on this particular show.
I see. Well, I've been on your show before then, but not this show, I guess.
So this sounds like it might be Paladin.
It is.
Hey, it's good to hear from you, brother. Folks, this is Paladin with the white hats. I think one of the very best programs that are out there. And I hear a rumor that we might get together and do another show fairly soon.
Anytime you're ready.
Let me know what works best for you. This show starts at 11, every weeknight. So we can do, anything that will finish up, reasonably before 11 o'clock, and we can rock and roll. I'm looking forward to that subject. I think it'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm going to do a follow-up on my last video here if I ever get around to it, and I'm going to talk about Nasara. So I think that'll be one that everybody will want to.
Oh, it says put to voice. I don't want to put it to voicemail. I'm trying to figure out this system, man, and I just don't know how to do it, but I'll figure it out by tomorrow. So we're just going to have to take the calls one at a time. Lady Justice has been in the chat a lot, and we really appreciate her. And I mean, your last show was, I think, masterful. I know you were trying to kick yourself in the rear end, but I don't think that you had any reason to do that. It was a fantastic show. And if you haven't listened to it, folks, go to, is it Paladin White Hat? Is that the channel on YouTube? And I lost him again. Damn it. Hi, you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
It's Mother of Dragons again. Can you hear me?
I can. Did you go in on hold?
No, it disconnected me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm trying to figure this thing out. We'll have to get it figured out better for tomorrow, obviously. But continue on where you are. And I just cut off Paladin for the second time. That's terrible. I feel bad.
You're on my phone, but I'm watching you on my screen.
I feel bad. I feel bad.
Yeah. And it's a learning curve.
It is a learning curve.
Life's too short. We'll get through it. Well, what I wanted to talk to you about is I was raised in the church, born into a Mennonite church, and during grade school, my mom decided to.
I just figured it out, ladies and gentlemen. I just figured it out. Okay, so we won't have any of that anymore. All right, go ahead, please.
So my mom decided to hook up with the local mafia guy, which made my school life really interesting. And my dad.
Oh, I almost figured it out. Paladin, are you still there by chance?
I am.
I'm sorry. I just figured it out, though. Thank you for hanging on. I just figured it out.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was starting to get worried about you there.
No, I'm still here, and thank you for calling in. And I think that was great. You were talking about the Jasara thing. You mentioned a couple of podcasters that are being less than forthcoming and, urged caution. I think that's important. And the message that you're bringing, I think, is second to none. I really do.
Well, I appreciate those kind words. I've been asked so many times over the years about Nasara, and depending on where the circumstances and how much time I have, I try to go into an explanation or give a short answer, and it just seems like I continually get them because there's so many people out there talking about Nasara. And we actually looked at that. The White Hats looked at this like 8 years ago, the Nasara thing. I put like 2 or 3 guys on it. So I think I'll do a video and just talk about that. So whenever anybody asks me from now on, I can just point to the video and say, go watch the video.
I think that's a great idea.
I am also going to address the 2 people that I addressed in the last one, because I just have some issues with those kinds of people putting out information, especially if they get it from other places and then they twist it and turn it and spin it and then offer it as their information. And most of the time it doesn't sound like, when they do that, they even understand what it means, because by the time they tell their story, it's kind of convoluted. So
it really is.
I think it's always good to point that out.
And Paladin
upsets a lot of people.
The Paladin, one of the things I like about you, and I try to do this, you are very, very careful not to go with something or to run with something until you've had a chance to at least validate it or vet it on your own. I know, you had a thing there where you had something that came from another broadcaster we both know and love, and you took it at face value. But it's just another lesson for real truthers and people that are really trying to be bring true alternative information. Just take the time to check the information that you're getting. And, sometimes you find out that it's not really what you think it is. And I appreciate you for, number one, being an example. And for number 2, being a stand-up guy saying, hey, look, this one I should have checked a little bit more. I didn't, but here is my follow-up on it.
Well, I appreciate that. I hate to make those kinds of mistakes, but I felt like it needed to be said. It needed to be corrected, because I think when people look at those kinds of things, everybody's looking for answers, and I get that. But I think everybody also has to understand that we're in a battle, and we can talk about all these nice things that, are going to come about once we win the battle. But we've all got to remember that we are the ones who have to fight the battle too. So we can't sit back and think that other people are going to be out there making these changes, and all we have to do is sit back and wait for somebody to tell us that they're done. And that's where, the hopium comes in, because then people get paralyzed. They need that hit of opium every day because it makes them feel better. And in the meantime, they're not doing what they need to be doing to bring about the change that we're all waiting for and trying to accomplish. Trump needs our help. Everybody needs our help. I mean, everybody that's in a position to make this happen, they need our help. I mean, this is a battle, and we've got to recognize this. I mean, I think it's World War III right here in front of our eyes. So, and it's our civilization and our survival at stake. That's all. So I think we all need to address that. And I see these people popping up that are trying to, I don't want to say hijack the cause, but I think they're trying to misdirect it and take advantage of it for their own purposes. And this is just not the time for that, and people are looking for answers every day, which is a good thing. Every day people are waking up and they're trying to go to alternative sources to get information. And some of these people that are out there that are just pumping hopium, or they don't really know what they're talking about. They have another agenda in mind, like trying to sell cryptocurrencies, or trying to sell foreign currencies, or trying to sell gold and silver, or, trying to raise money in another way. They know it's just a numbers game, right? You get a bunch of eyes on you, and then you convert them to money. And that's what I see going on here. So I've got to address those 2 guys again briefly. One, I'm going to do a little fact check on him and show what nonsense he's putting out. I will mention the other one just in passing. I think he's so out there that everybody ought to figure out what he's all about anyway. I mean, he portrays himself as a cross between Robin Hood and James Bond,
and he's more like Mr. Bean, if you know who Mr. Bean is.
Yeah. I mean, take a look. What you see is what you get. I mean, it's just amazing to me.
Yeah.
And neither one of these guys are in the U.S.
Exactly. Paladin, let me just make another statement and ask you a question. I know you have to go. Just let me know. But I have said this many times, and I think President Trump would agree with this. I have said, and I believe that President Trump did not make America great again. President Trump empowered us to make America great again. And President Trump cannot keep America great, but he can continue to empower us to keep America great if we do what we're supposed to do. And the question would be, why are there, I would argue that the people that listen to our shows, the people that are in this community, are open-minded. They're seeking truth. They're some of the smarter bears in the forest, if you will. But why do they continually flock to, support, pay for, and fall for these charlatans that are pitching it's late night bullshit? Why are so many of our good people falling for this so often?
If I answer that question, people are going to be upset with me.
Oh, well, blame it on me.
Well, no, it's just, I think it's human nature, to be honest with you. And I think human nature, after you wake up, especially after you wake up and you realize what's going on and how bad things are, you're looking around for a life raft. You're looking around for a lifeline. You're looking around for something positive that you can cling to, sort of, to give you some hope. Because I think once you start down the rabbit hole, that baby it's a bottomless pit. And so at some point you're going to wake up and you're going to say, okay, I'm starting to see how bad this is. What is it that anybody is doing to try to fix it? And so they gravitate to these kind of people. I mean, this is the perfect time for them to come around, and they catch the people that are looking for then good news. After they realize the bad news, then we're looking for somebody to give us the good news, and people gravitate to that. And I think that we have to shake them loose. And I think your analogy there about Trump, you're right. He's empowering us to make America great again. That's what where we go one, where we go all means. And it's going to take every single one of us. This government that the founders created 250 years ago is a government for the people, by the people. So the president he's just a caretaker, really. And he's the only one now, Trump's the only one now that's standing between us and them. I mean, he is holding them off so that we can get our act together and take back our own country. That's what's going on. So you said it exactly right. That's what's going on. And people are, we're waiting for Trump to do this and we're waiting for Trump to do that. Well, why can't we do something to participate in this whole process? Because we're going to have to.
And, you asked about the Christian whistleblower, and my message is we have a lot of people sitting back, and this is where I get in trouble, and unapologetically so, waiting and saying, why won't God do something? When is God going to intervene? When is God going to help us out? We need God. And I'm trying to tell people, you are divine, you are sovereign, you are free. If you want God to do something, go look in the mirror. That's God. Let's get busy.
Yeah, I couldn't say it any better. God is within all of us. And I think that we have to understand that we have got to take our power back, because religion is a way for them to take our power. We go and to a church and we get into that religious dogma and we give our power away in the form of faith. And so all we have to do is put our money in the plate and say our amens at the right time. It doesn't matter how we live our life the other 6 days of the week. As long as we do that, we're right. We're in good stead. And then all we have to do is ask for favors, and everything will be fine. And it's like God. It's like here the cavalry's coming. The aliens are going to save us. I mean, it's everybody but ourselves. We can come up with all these different groups that are going to come and save us. And we have to understand and realize that we are the ones that are going to save us.
Paladin, tonight, President Trump did a rally in Sanford, Florida. Inside the rally area, there was probably, from the looks of it, at least 5 to 10,000 people. They could only let a certain number of people in. I just saw a report with my own eyes before I went on the air. The Sanford, Florida authorities who were there and in charge of crowd control said, Paladin, that outside of the venue, and I saw the pictures, it was unbelievable, were gathered 70,000 people. That's more than fill up Tampa Stadium for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play. That's more than fill up the Orlando Citrus Bowl, where the thing there in Orlando for the bowl games. 70,000 people outside. And Joe Biden today had a rally in Phoenix, and the news reporters out there saying, we can't even tell there's a rally. There's nobody here.
Right.
So if they win, they've stolen it, right?
And the thing of it is about that because of the numbers we know about the registered voters, I mean, there's a way that you can get an idea whether the election is being stolen or not. But there's a margin there of maybe 10, maybe 20% that you can steal, and it's not going to be noticeable.
Ooh.
And as long as we can overcome that margin, it doesn't matter how they try to skew it, we're going to win. And the numbers, see, if you listen to Trump, I don't know if it was last night or the night before. Well, one thing I want to say about polling that I think people don't understand, Trump, Biden, they're all spending money. Everybody that's running, especially the presidential candidates, they are spending money doing polling. And that polling is very, very, very specific. They're asking certain people certain questions, and they're doing it in all the states. And this is telling Trump where he needs to go and what he needs to say as far as what are the hot buttons, what are the important topics for each segment or each area. And so I heard him say to someone the other day, they asked him, and I think it was a day or two, they asked him about the polls. And he says, well, we're doing it. He started down the road of saying, we are kicking ass everywhere, right? But he stopped himself and sort of tried to divert that. In other words, not to let everybody know. He says, well, I'm not sure about that. I think we're doing pretty well everywhere.
Right.
And they know that, because I was told we have a connection with a private polling company, and we were told in 2016 Trump was winning everywhere by 70%.
Wow.
Before the election. So this guy was saying he's going to win. There's no doubt he's going to win. Now, I think this time around, if it's a fair election, I think he's got an opportunity to possibly take some states that are, you wouldn't think he could take.
I agree.
That's really how people are waking up. So we'll see, but I just don't think they can do enough to fix it to win. Because as you watch the progress of all of this stuff, now they've decided they don't want him to debate Biden because they know how far ahead he is. And I'm sure they got numbers after this last debate that show him that made, Trump probably increase the real lead over Biden, right? So then they come up with this virtual thing, knowing that Trump won't accept it. So rather than 3 debates, now we've got 2. And so this mitigates the damages to Biden after the first debate, because if they did a second debate, it would get worse. And then they do a third debate, it's going to get even worse. Okay, so now they're talking about the 25th Amendment. See, so now that we've gone through the mail-in ballot stuff, that's starting to get hammered in the courts and in the states. That stuff's getting exposed. So now they're backing off with Biden going head-to-head against Trump, because that makes the margin even worse. And now Nancy's talking about the 25th Amendment. I mean, do you see how they're getting more and more and more desperate with the things they're trying to throw out there? And that's because nobody is paying attention to what the TV polls show, because they all know those TV polls are not accurate.
Absolutely. And Paladin, one thing that people need to understand, and I don't know if they do, I was in partisan politics. I ran a state for a national political campaign. And if you're the challenger like Joe Biden is, you want You would debate every single night if the incumbent would let you. The challenger wants to debate, wants to debate, wants to debate. But the fact that Joe doesn't want to debate shows that even Joe knows he can't win. Today, Joe said he was running. I'm the candidate for Senate. He said this today.
Yeah. Yeah.
The poor guy,
Yeah.
Tracy Dyer, said another debate would be elder abuse.
Well, and Trump plays him like a violin because, you know, Joe was in his basement and then Trump was hammering him and he finally got out of the basement and then he makes an appearance, and Trump knows every time he makes an appearance, he's going to say something stupid like he did today about running for the Senate instead of the presidency.
Right.
So Trump is playing him back and forth. And Trump knew, you know, like with Trump saying, well, you need to do a drug test, right?
Yeah.
Let's do a drug test. And now it's really hard. You know, there's been some rumblings about them, you know, wondering about what's up with Trump and COVID and all this stuff. And do we need to drug test him, or do we need to see another COVID test? I mean, they're just going crazy. It's amusing, really, because they are so desperate. All the things that they're going to try, and, you know, they're running out of time now. So I wonder what else they're going to be able to try to float around.
Paladin, if you have time, why in the world did the Democrats go with Joe Biden?
Ukraine. They thought that it would stop the investigations into Ukraine. Because if you remember back in the primaries, Biden was done. Everybody was writing Biden off. It was Bernie and it was Elizabeth Warren, and they were even talking about Buttigieg, the pathetic mayor of South Bend, Indiana. And Biden was written off, and all of a sudden they revived him. And the reason they did is because so many people have so much to lose if the real Ukraine story comes out. And they thought that would make Ukraine untouchable. See, if you remember, once the Ukraine phone call that Trump had with the new president of Ukraine and what took place there, that was when the impeachment that they had been talking about for so long sprung into action, because they couldn't let that thing get out of control. That would take them all down.
You know, I've been wondering that, and now I understand. You're exactly right, because, I mean, the Clintons are connected to that. Mitt Romney's connected to that. The list it's really a who's who of the deep state that has ties to the Ukraine. Exactly right. That's exactly right. So they felt like that putting Joe in there would mitigate that, because then it would be viewed as off limits because of a presidential election. Absolutely.
So that's the reason that's the reason they basically brought Joe back from the dead. And if you go back and look at the primaries, you'll see what I'm talking about. They were writing Joe off.
Absolutely. Do you think they want Harris really to be president?
Well, I don't think that it matters, because whoever it is, whoever is the president, they are not in control. It's not really going to matter.
Gotcha.
I mean, they're just a puppet.
Gotcha.
They're just a puppet. Obama was a puppet. Even Bush Jr. was a puppet. Clinton was a puppet. Reagan was a puppet. Carter was a puppet. They were all puppets. They were all puppets going back to Johnson.
Yeah, and I think our last president before Trump was the great JFK, and of course, how am I forgetting the author of The Inheritance? Help me out with his name again. Christopher Fulton. You've got to get that book. It's a great book. And President Trump is now trying to take back our republic, which hasn't been done or tried or attempted since the great John F. Kennedy. Paladin has some great shows with Mr. Fulton. We have a great show with Mr. Fulton. Make sure you see that. Paladin, I thank you so much for calling in. Tell the people again where they can get your information, and I'll send you an email as soon as I get off the air tonight, and we'll set up a a hard time for the show, we can do it in your place or mine, whichever. I can't wait to talk to you about Elvis and the Beatles and MK Ultra and Charlie Manson.
Okay. I always look forward to those. Okay. YouTube channel is White Hat Media Group, and our website is www.whitehatsreport.com.
Absolutely. And join it. The information's great. And listen to Paladin's podcast. You will be one of the smartest people on the block. Paladin, thanks to you, and thanks to Lady Justice, who rides shotgun with you a lot of times. It's great information, and I hope that you keep it coming.
Okay. Thank you, Jeffrey. I enjoyed it tonight.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it so very much.
Okay, buddy. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye now. Look at that, folks. I did it right. You are live with Jeffrey Daugherty. Hold on just 1 second. Ladies and gentlemen, when you call in, when you're on a call, I will sometimes have to say, caller, please hold, while I put another call on hold. I think I've got it figured out. Like right now, hold on just 1 second, caller. Caller, please hold. I'm going to put you on hold while I talk with the other caller. So see, I just put that one on hold. I go back to this one, and we go back to this one right here and on hold. Okay, I'm back with you. You're late. It's late night in the Heartland, and you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty. Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. If you could turn down your computer or sound in the background, I'd be even better.
I just did. I just put you on pause so that way it's like totally off.
Perfect. Thanks for calling. And what's on your mind tonight?
Just today I was jonesing for some on indoctrination. I checked out the video that you made on the 33 of all that information.
Yeah, let me hold this person real quick. Oh, they went. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, no problem. Yeah, so it's crazy, like just all the information about 33, and I knew 33 was a crazy number, but it was unreal how like all the.
1 second. Holder, caller, please hold. We'll be right back with you. And I'm back with you.
No worries. Yeah, no, like I have to watch it again. Like that was unreal. Like I said about the 33, like all the tie-ins with the different.
It's amazing.
And the timing on each one. That's crazy.
It's amazing. And that was a pretty good video. And it's so much deeper than you think it is. And when you start to investigate it, it is really, really something good. And I appreciate you calling in and pointing that out. Is there anything else that you have on your mind tonight?
No, I just want to thank you for singing happy birthday to me the other night. It was awesome.
Hey, that is my pleasure. And we'll do it again next year. All right?
For sure. Take care. Thanks a lot, Jeff.
Take care. Bye-bye. So we're going to hang up on that one, and we're going to go to this one, and we're going to click on it, and we're going to say, it's late night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeff, if you're still there.
Yes, I am. Hi, how are you doing?
I am doing very well tonight. I'm figuring out my phone system. I think it's going to be all right. Thank you for calling. What's on your mind?
Well, just I want to talk about my mom is in the hospital right now, and she's on ventilator, and she's in Russia, and I'm in the United States. So I kind of want to ask your listeners to send some positive healing energy to help my mom to overcome this sickness.
We will do that. And I think we'll ask everybody right now that's listening to send some positive intention and some healing intention towards your mother. And, you know, we have 46,000, almost 600 subscribers, and we're asking all of them right now. And as people watch this, even after tonight, we'll ask you to continue, even if you're not watching the video live, to send healing intention and healing power to this sweet woman. And I appreciate it, and we're going to do it. And is there anything else that you'd like to ask or comment on tonight?
Oh, well, I also was thinking to talk about end of times a little bit. I'm pretty sure everybody on your channel already aware what it's happening. It's happening now.
Right.
And we're all going through it. So it's sort of exciting times and also hard times at the same time.
It is hard times. It is exciting times. And I really appreciate you calling. And I know that it does seem tough and it does seem rough, but I really, and I wouldn't say this just to say it, but I really believe, and I know, I don't know how I know, but I know that as bad as it seems right now, it's going to be better than it's ever been. And it's going to be better than it's ever been sooner than any of us can ever imagine. And I know you think I'm crazy, but hold
No,
on,
I don't
believe,
think you're crazy.
and it will be. It will be.
I actually coming from knowledge of certain stuff. I had multiple near-death experiences, so I actually know where I came from. I know exactly who I am outside of this realm, and I do know where we're going to, and I also know what the next place where we're going to be not physical, and it's going to be operating outside time and space.
I agree with
So
you
that's where I'm
100%.
going.
Do you remain optimistic?
Of course, I mean, I
Good.
also experiencing Mandela effect. I don't know how you actually, if you ever heard about it or how you're reacting to it, but people who experiencing Mandela effect, it's actually a sign of being chosen already. So don't be afraid of what you're experiencing. It just means that you're on the right path, and you're going to be accepted to this realm I'm talking about.
I think that's a beautiful.
It's magical there. Yes.
I think it's a beautiful
Also,
encouragement, and I believe it will be magical in a great and positive way.
yeah. Also, I would not be focusing too much on the politics or anything like that because simply, first of all, the government we seeing, like the government was presenting to us, it's actually completely illusion. Yeah, the real government is not visible at all. This whole world operated from it's two dimensions. One is corporeal and one is non-corporeal. So non-corporeal one is actually in charge of corporeal. It's usually something you don't see. That's what is in charge of this whole system.
Very interesting.
Everything else is just a distraction.
Very interesting.
People who actually had a near-death experience, and we actually seen those entities who's in charge of the cell. So I do know what I'm talking about. I've seen them.
Very, very interesting. Thanks so much. Do you have anything else for us tonight?
Oh, well, demons and angels is a real thing.
Well, I appreciate that.
Of us who's actually going to be able to make it, we are angels, and we have power of God. Like we almost outside of this place, we limitless and immortal.
Absolutely. And let's try to bring a little bit of that into this place. Thanks so much for calling. I hope it won't be the last time you call.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. I appreciate it.
Thank you for the energy.
It is my pleasure, and we're going to continue to send it to your mother, all of us, and we appreciate you. Thanks for calling. Bye-bye now. That's a great call. That's the way you do it. It is Late Night in the Heartland. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty, if you're still there.
I'm here. This is third time's the charm, right?
Third time is the charm. Yes, indeed. This is Mother of Dragons then, right?
Yes, Mother of Dragons.
Okay. And the only reason I'll stop is if I have to put somebody else on hold, and you can see I've got it figured out now. Okay. So the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, the only way you could figure this out is if we're here anyway. I mean,
right. You know, Cynthia and I tried, but there's not enough of us to figure out all the wrinkles. And I think I can set it. Right. I think I can set it where if I'm on a line, it'll automatically go to hold. I'll just have to call the folks that run this show and ask them tomorrow.
Yeah, because it's sending us. Sometimes it's just hanging up with saying thanks for calling. You'll fix it.
I'll fix it.
You'll fix it. Okay, so when my parents got divorced, my dad went back to church, and he didn't go back to the Mennonite church. He started going to this church that was Rex Humbard's little brother. Rex,
Oh,
I don't know if you're
yeah.
familiar.
Absolutely.
Okay, so
I've preached with Rex before.
Okay. Well, his troubled little brother, they threw him in Youngstown, thinking, yeah, it's Youngstown. How much damage could he do? So he used to preach the weirdest stuff. And he would preach that, Jesus didn't have a belly button. You've probably heard that one before.
That's an old Bible college debate. Did Adam have a belly button?
Yeah.
And I guess Jesus too, right? Because he was allegedly immaculately conceived.
Right, supposedly. Well, he preached this other thing too. That remember when Apollo went up to the moon, and
Or did it go to the moon, Mother Dragons?
Well, yeah, but go with me for the sake of argument.
All righty, I remember.
Okay, so do you remember when they reported that they jettisoned the rockets down and the moon shook like a bell for so many hours?
Yeah, it hit the moon and it rang like a bell, allegedly.
Okay, so he preached that the moon was someday, the crust was going to fall away, and that was the New Jerusalem.
That's actually a pretty good one. That's a pretty good one. That would sell on YouTube right now.
Okay, so listen to this. One night I'm sitting around with nothing to do, and this is years ago. This is like years ago.
I don't know if it's late night or not, but I thought you were going to say you're sitting around with nothing on, but I'm glad you didn't. Continue, please.
No, it's not that late. No. No. So I Googled the size of the Earth compared to the size of the moon, and I hit images. And then I Googled the size of the Earth compared to the size of the New Jerusalem, because I can't do math, let alone cubits and all that crap.
Right.
Jeff, Google it. It's the same freaking picture. It's the same dimension.
You know what? I've always thought, and since I have come to this place, that the New Jerusalem is, if it does come down to earth, it is this God trying to take over the earth, because he really does. And if that means that it's hidden within the moon, that ties a whole lot of conspiracies together, doesn't it?
Yep.
That's a great one. I'm putting that. You made my good friend Chris Jericho. I say I'm le champion of late night, but guess what?
Yeah.
Mother Dragons, you just made my list. I'm putting that down.
Yeah, Google it.
Love you, Chris. You do great work. Chris Jericho, probably the hardest working man in entertainment. And when he was a little boy, he said, I want to be two things. I want to be a rock star and I want to be a wrestling star. And he's both. You can do anything you want to do. Chris Jericho is one hell of a guy. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, that's basically all I had to say. It kind of blew my mind when I did that. I mean, maybe that's what's going to happen someday. Maybe there's something that lives inside the moon. I don't know.
Mother of Dragons, that's amazing. I wrote that down because I am going to be looking at that, and I'm going to be doing a study on that. That's going to be on my list tomorrow, or after I get off the show tonight. I'm so wired up I can't go to bed till 4. I'll probably be diving into that.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating. Well, thank you so much for calling.
Oh, you're welcome. You have a good night. Thank you.
I will, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye.
All righty. It doesn't look like we've got anybody holding. We don't. So I'm gonna stop the share there. That is fascinating. The New Jerusalem has the same dimensions. If I'm understanding what she's saying, the New Jerusalem has the same dimensions as the moon. Wow, the New Jerusalem has the same dimensions as the moon. That brings up all kinds of implications, because if they want the New Jerusalem to come down and to reign from the New Jerusalem to take over the earth, and it's really inside the moon. We're trying to figure out what the moon is. And if you remember, the ancient Israelites were known as a people of a moon god. Maybe they really are the people of a moon god. Boy, this is really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. And let me get this call. It's late night in the heartland, and I missed your call. Call right back. I'm sorry. Call right back. I had to go over and share the screen so the call would work, and I'll just leave it up there. Unfortunately, if I were you, I would just block my number before you call in if you don't want everybody to be able to see your phone number. But great stuff. Lady Justice says that some people think the moon holds us hostage, mentally hostage. And I mean, it's so interesting. Basir Ra, our great friend Lionel, says they're already raining from the moon, and the moon is sending consciousness to Earth. Chuck says lunar ticks. Of course, Svetlana, who made that great call, she says the moon and the Earth are a trap. And even our good friend David Icke says that the moon is a spaceship. It is late night in the heartland, and you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Jeffrey, this is Carl in Texas. I called in Friday about the George Floyd and the tie-in with the Ingrams and the wearing the mask.
Right, I remember.
And,
how are you tonight? What's on your mind tonight?
I'm glad you're doing this thing on Ingrams. It's really given me a little bit of a focus on direction. I tried to figure out some of this stuff with the Trump derangement syndrome, and I mean this has been going on for years. I'm like, what goes with people? And I've got a few ideas, but one thing I wanted to mention first is your program this afternoon. You said that Ingrams may actually be in the cells of her body,
right?
And I thought there's probably a little bit more real proof of that than we realize, and that is it has to do with transplant recipients. Organ transplant recipients quite often take on characteristics of the donor. Matter of fact, it seems to be more common rather than less common, and that could explain that something's in the cells of the transplant donor that transfers over. And
so you're suggesting that you
very
might, if you get a transplant, you might inherit the other person's Ingrams.
Right. And I mean, it's known that people have characteristics. I've seen things, that they start listening to different types of music, and then they find out that the donor loved those types of music or eating certain types of food they never cared about before, and all of a sudden they love eating those type foods. And so I'm thinking that there's a physical real proof there.
It sounds, it sounds amazing, and I think that it's probably got to be true to some extent. But again, we're always asking and thinking outside the box. So a lot of us have heard that, and it certainly is fascinating, and it certainly bears a lot of thought for sure. Are you still with me, or did I cut you off?
Yeah, no, I'm still.
Excellent.
I'm still with you.
Did you have anything else for us tonight?
Well, it was just about. I think you might have given me a little bit of a key to try and figure out this derangement syndrome, and it's and I don't know if it's a way to solve it or not, but I don't know why watching the program earlier. Earlier this evening, I had to watch a recorded deal. But the liberal or the politically liberal mindset, most people have to have some instinct to know when they're hearing a lie. Okay?
Right.
But their favorite newscaster or whatever, the Mad Cow or whatever, they say different things. You have different headlines on their news stories that don't jive with what they sense and know. It creates cognitive dissonance, and then of course they figure out a way to blame it on Trump.
Right.
And so it's just the anger of not being able to figure out things, but I'm still trying to put together how the Ingrams might have some part of that and what the hold is on people in that. And that's really about all I had to say.
Well, what's coming to my mind, and I've thought this through before, and Ingrams are implanted in your reactive mind, or we can call it our reptilian mind. Engrams are planted in your reactive mind when your consciousness is lowered. When your consciousness, your analytical mind is lowered. We all know that when we listen and watch television, it's proven that your analytical mind is reduced, various people, various amounts. But if your analytical mind is reduced and the television media is constantly anti-Trump, 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 it can build a Trump derangement engram in your mind, and engrams act up when they're re-stimulated. And every time you hear another Trump thing, or even just the name Trump, it will re-stimulate and cause that Trump derangement syndrome and cause it to be acted out. I think you're really hitting on something there.
Yeah. Well, do you think it actually might even increase each time it's acted out, where it gets to be more and more of a problem for a person?
Yes, and we'll get into that more. There's this thing called valences that are within engrams, and just very short in an engram, everything you see, smell, hear is a separate personality, and as the engrams continue to be re-stimulated, each one of those personalities or those individual sounds, sight, feels, smells can begin to manifest. So it's very much akin to the script. Some people call it the scripture or the Bible that says that the quote unquote demon can bring back 7 more worse than it. Every time your engram gets re-stimulated, not only does it get stronger, all of the valences that are within it begin to manifest. So it really does do exactly what you're talking about. We haven't quite got to that yet in our study, but that's exactly what it does. You're you're hitting the nail on the head.
Okay. Well, I'll look forward to learning a little bit more about this as time goes on.
Absolutely. I appreciate you so much. Thanks so much for calling in. I really do appreciate it.
Okay. Thank you. Good night.
All right. Thank you. Good night. Folks, we're taking a lot of phone calls and sometimes nature calls, and we have to answer nature's call as well, ladies and gentlemen. And while you do, I want to thank one of our great sponsors, and I want you to enjoy this great message from one of our great sponsors as I go ahead and take care of some business that I have to do. And I think you're going to enjoy this. I think you're going to like this. It's really good stuff. And I will be right back with you. And we've got another 45 minutes of show. And we'll be right back on the other side of this message from our great sponsor. And I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. You are here. And this is Late Night in the Heartland. And I messed up. I gotta do that little button that makes you hear the sound. It's Late Night in the Heartland. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, and I will be, come on, share, baby. I will be right back with you after this great word from our great sponsor.
I love to run. I just love to be outside and smelling the fresh air and hearing the birds and being in nature, taking in the scenery. It's probably one of my favorite things to do. But I had to stop running actually for quite a while. I was diagnosed with some serious autoimmune conditions. I suffered from chronic fatigue and just a lack of energy, and my body just couldn't take the stress of running anymore. In fact, I didn't really even have energy to do everyday activities, and so that was tough. But I found C60 Purple Power, and what I didn't realize was how much it would help my body to start healing itself. I was able to reduce my thyroid medication by 2/3. My energy level came back. I felt like running again. So I slowly started to get out there more and more every week, running a little bit more, pushing myself a little further, climbing those hills, reaching new heights. C60 Purple Power has really helped me return to the things I love, and that has meant all the world to me.
And that, friends, is our great sponsor, C60 Purple Power. If you want to get some of that, all you have to do is follow the instructions that are there on the screen. just go to jeffreydaugherty.com and click on C60 Purple Power logo. There's already a great discount built in for you there. And I appreciate it. We have a dog that was literally almost on death's door, and now he is playing like a puppy again. You know, I swear by it. I use it all the time, and it's a great product, and they're great people. So that's a great word from our sponsor. Thank you for that. We have another 45 minutes of the show tonight. This show is what you want to talk about, and the phone lines are open for you. You can call in, and you see the phone number on the screen. The phone number is 913-279-0831. And folks, I pride myself on being the most accessible guy on YouTube, and I have a lot of haters. I have a lot of people that say a lot of bad things about me, a lot of terrible things about me. And we're not going to let you do it anymore in the chat room. We're just not going to let you do it. But if you have the balls to make the calls, we'll put you on the air. You think I'm a piece of shit? Call me up and tell me why. You think I don't know what I'm talking about? Call me up and tell me why. Just be polite and just be interesting. And you can call me up if you have the guts, and you can talk about anything you want to talk about, as long as you're polite and as long as you're interesting. Who else on YouTube will give you this type of access to them? But you know what? We haven't heard from any of our trolls except for the Troll King, who called in and made a prank call. So I'm going to try to get you real quick. I got to share the screen. Can we do it? Can we do it? Can we do it? Boom, 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 and boom. It's Late Night in the Heartland, and you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty. Hi, caller. You're live. What's on your mind tonight?
I got lots on my mind. I just recently started following you from what just I find got people on from different episodes, people doing interviews all the time.
Right.
And Taboo Conspiracies interviewed you, or you interviewed him, or one or the other, and I watched. So then I just started following you like a week or two ago.
Well, thank you.
And yeah, no, so I started following you, and that was one of my questions. And you don't have to answer it either. But I find I find a lot of new people too is who do you follow? Is there other YouTube channels or other people that you would recommend?
You know what? I have a question for that sounds a little bit arrogant, but if you listen to me, I think you'll understand what I'm saying. You know, I do so many shows. I'm the second hardest working man on YouTube. Rex Bear is the hardest, but I do so much studying and work for my own programs that I don't get to listen to many people, but I do listen to Paladin, the White Hats report. I listen to Paladin. I do listen to young Pharaoh periodically. I will also listen to Rex Bear every now and then. I listen to X22 a little bit, but other than that, I just don't have time to listen to other people because I'm always studying, and I'm not one of those guys that can study and listen to something. I've got to keep my mind focused. I think we all do better that way. That's just free advice that you didn't ask for, so it's probably worth everything you pay. But that is the way it works for me.
Yeah, totally. No, I'm deep into it, and I got a wife and two kids, and my wife gives me shit. I got always a headphone hanging out of my ear, listening to all these shows, and I don't know, any advice for that? Like I don't know, man, sometimes I think I'm too far into it. I'm just, it's hard. Like, this stuff is crazy. This whole world is crazy nowadays.
My only advice to you is this. There's a lot of information out there, and what you listen to can tend to drive your mind. And there's so much, for some reason, and I know the reason, because it sells. on YouTube especially, there's so much negativity. There's so much gloom and doom. There's so much everything's coming to an end. It's horrible. It's awful. And I think, and I know if we continue to listen to that, it puts us into a mindset. I have a person dear to me that is so dark and doomy and gloomy because all they listen to is dark and doomy and gloomy. So if I could give you any advice, and you asked for it, I'm not offering it. If I could give you any advice, try just don't listen to all that doom and gloom. Find some people like X22, Paladin, Rex. Sometimes he has some dark stuff on there, but find some people that are giving you some optimistic outcomes, and because I think they're the best people anyway.
I think, man, X22 was one of my main guys. He's every single day I listen to both of the reports.
He's very smart.
Yeah, but I don't know, Owen Benjamin, man, like this.
Owen is a badass. Owen has got great information. I have listened to some of Owen's stuff. I listened to Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole with David Weiss too.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome. Dave, Crow 777, freaking Owen Benjamin's my favorite. X22 is one of my favorites. SGT report. I don't know. There's some pretty cool guys. But
sounds like you're doing great to me, and I'm just honored to be on your playlist.
Man, I know you just made it there, and yeah, it's cool, man. There's not many people that do the call-in shows, so I don't know. It's cool to talk to somebody that's into it because everybody's so brainwashed nowadays. Like I'm in a neighborhood actually in Canada, and I'm in a city that I feel like I know nobody. Like I'm the only one that knows any of this shit. I bring it up to my family, fucking my brother, my fucking wife doesn't even believe in any of this. And I've tried my dad, my mom, my fucking, and yeah, my whole community is like you try talking about anything conspiracy theory, and they're just like look at you like you're retarded.
Yep. Let me ask you one question that I was asked to ask my next Canadian caller from my lovely bride Cynthia. She has heard from sources, and I want to know if you can confirm this. Do you know of any of the provinces in Canada where you are required to wear masks and even to wear them indoors and even within your own home?
I don't know of any.
Okay.
I'm in BC. I've heard Quebec was getting bad.
That's the one that she heard was Quebec.
Yeah. BC is the town I'm from. Central BC is like nothing.
Give me just 1 second to put this person on hold. Hello, caller. I'm going to place you on hold. I'll be right with you when we finish with the other caller. Okay, so let me go back to you and go back to unknown caller. Sorry about that. I'm back with you.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways, BC, Central BC. From watching everything I see on the internet and on TV, I'm like amazed. Like we're still. I've noticed more and more people wearing masks, but we're still probably only 50-50 up here.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, other than that, man, it's just And then
you want to hear something funny?
Yeah. I
once pastored a church in Langley, BC, right on Fraser Highway.
Yeah, I'm like 4-5 hours away from there.
Yeah, but I mean, anyway, it was in BC. I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Hey, that's a great call. Do you have anything else to share with us?
Okay, what do you think about silver and gold?
I think silver and gold are great investments. I've bought silver. Cynthia and I have bought silver. My only concern with silver and gold as the basis of a currency is it's still a commodity that a certain group of people could monopolize. I'd rather see our currency based on something more broad-based like land or maybe the value of labor. But silver and gold is a hell of a lot better than anything else that's out there right now.
Yeah, and it's community, man. Community, building relationships with your freaking neighbors and the people around you. Community is going to save us all.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks so much for the call. I'm going to go ahead and get this person that's on hold. Okay.
Okay, man. Thanks.
Take care. Bye-bye. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty. Thanks for holding.
Hi, Jeff. How are you?
I am
I'm just
so
gonna
good.
say, you look beautiful, and you are beautiful.
Thank you.
This is Suzanne. I'm just gonna say this is Suzanne with the hat.
Hello, Suzanne.
And I've been listening to you for years. I'm not always in your chat, and but
Are
I
you the
always
one
give
that
you a
sent me the
thumbs
hat
up.
before the fiasco in the desert?
No, wait. I'm sorry. Go ahead with that.
I thought you said you were Susan with the hat. I'm sorry. Just forget that.
No. I never sent you anything. I apologize. Other than my love.
No, that's all
and
right.
my
And that's
favor.
all. That's more than enough. So you've been listening for a few years. You're not always in the chat. Go ahead and pick it up from there.
I'm actually in your chat. I'm just saying I'm Suzanne with the hat. So
Gotcha.
I'm not using my name. But
Gotcha.
I'm in your chat, hon.
Gotcha.
Okay. I just decided to give you a call. I don't know if I don't think I ever gave you a call. There were a few times I participated in your chat. And I just wanted to call, like I listen to other stations, Arlene and everybody, many stations. I just wanted to give you a call because I appreciate that.
You know what? That
do.
is so nice of you, and it touches my heart that you took the time to call in just to say that you care and share your appreciation. And I know sometimes you wonder, does this guy even know I'm there when there's 46,000, almost 47,000 subscribers? I feel like I know all of the names. Maybe I don't, but to hear from you and to hear you say those words, it's the reason why I continue to do what I do.
Yeah, like a few times in the past, this chat has thought that you kind of would come back with something that was actually absolutely hysterical. Oh, hello?
I'm here, and it's nice to hear people so I can put voices.
I never took anything you say with offense. I don't, because what I love about you, actually, I love the rod.
I've got them right here somewhere.
I wouldn't push you to do it. I love when you do the rod. And I really do think that you do contact many of them with those rods.
I do too. And if we ever get breaks between calls, we may bring out the rods, kind of liven things up. But we're getting so many calls, and that's what we're here for.
But I like that, no matter whether, people agree with you or not, that you're bringing them out of the box.
Absolutely. We're doing our best.
And that's what I appreciate, and I don't think anybody's to hate on anybody. And I do understand sometimes you'll say things, and I can understand how it might trigger people, but they have to respectfully understand that you're just expanding your mind, whether you're talking about the Tower of Babel or all that, because it's all.
Give me just 1 second to put these people on hold. Hello, caller. Please hold. I'll be right with you. I'm back with you. Go ahead.
Yes. I mean, I know that you said that your children were doing the coffee thing, and I was thinking about ordering the coffee thing.
Well, we're not doing that anymore, so.
Yeah, and then you said because I'm a coffee, I love coffee. But I just want to let you know, I can understand how people could look at you as controversial, but I want you to know that I love you, brother, no matter what, because as I said, regardless, whether you understand, on YouTube, you have many theories, and you're probably aware of it, whether people like Mandela and all those things, all those theories. But at the same time, I think people should keep an open mind, whether they believe or not in Mandela theory or quantum or whatever. I like their channel because I think they should listen to your channel, but with an open mind.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for.
It will fit into pieces.
I bet. Thanks so much for sharing. I really appreciate you. I'm going to go ahead and grab this other call.
That I love you, brother. You know what I mean?
And I really do love you
too. I give you a
too.
thumbs up every time.
Well, thanks for that. I love you
Okay,
too. Thanks for calling, and we'll talk to you again real soon, I hope. All righty. It's late night in the Heartland. Thanks for holding. You're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Hey, Jeff. How you doing?
Super duper. You're making the night better. What's on your mind tonight, my friend?
Well, I met you at the witness protection in the desert.
Sorry, you caught me with a mouthful of sparkling water. I'm sorry to hear that in a way, but I'm glad that we met.
Yeah, Professor Grampy, remember me and my wife Liz?
I do. How are you?
Well, we're doing pretty good.
Excellent. That was quite the adventure. What comment or question do you have for me tonight? Take your time.
Well, you know, a lot of things have happened since we were back there a couple of years ago. The wife and I have been watching you since you were in your trailer in Florida. So it's been a long journey. And we're up here in Colorado and just came back from a trip up at the Black Hills and through Wyoming. And, you know, it's funny, you know, when you go from one state to the next, how people are not wearing masks in certain places and they are in other places. And I wanted to ask you what you feel about this whole COVID thing.
You know, that's the $1 million question. And if I had to answer you, and you've asked me, so I will. It is not what they're telling us that it is. I think it's just the regular flu, and all the numbers point that it's just a regular flu. The infection numbers, the death numbers, they line up with things going back 3-4 years. It is, and I thought this from the beginning, and I still think this. The more information I get, it was just another desperate tool by the deep state to do what they can to prevent President Trump from being reelected.
Okay, yeah, you know, you say that, and I'm for Trump, but there's a few things that, you know, I don't like that he's pushing. You know, he's pushing 5G. And
when's the last time you heard President Trump mention 5G?
He's mentioned it many times.
When was the last time you heard President Trump mention 5G?
Just a couple of days ago.
I challenge you to show me where he said it. He hasn't talked about 5G in 6 months.
Well, yeah, it might have been 6 months ago.
Okay.
But he's also pushing the vaccination.
Tell me why you think he's pushing the vaccination.
Because he mentions that at almost every rally that he has.
What has President Trump said about the vaccine? Has he not said that only people that want it have to take it? Hasn't those words come out of his mouth multiple times?
Actually, no, I haven't heard that multiple times. I've heard multiple times is that he's pushing the vaccine. He's saying that it's going to be here soon, and that the military is going to distribute the vaccine.
Yep.
And, you know,
let me help you out for a second. I'll share with you what I think. He has said, and here I'm going to make a prediction first, and I just said this to Cynthia tonight. There is probably not going to be a vaccine. It might be a vaccine, but it's going to be like a flu shot thing. There's not going to be a vaccine. President Trump is going to be pushing, and if you notice, every time he talks about vaccine, he says something first. Do you remember what he always says first when he's talking about vaccines? He says therapeutics. He always says, and we got the therapeutics and we got the vaccine. They're going to be here before you know it. There won't even be a vaccine. That's my prediction. There will not be a COVID-19 vaccine, except for the crazy people that want a vaccine so bad. What President Trump is rolling out is the therapeutic cocktail that healed him. President Trump is not going to be pushing a vaccine. He's always said from day one, therapeutics and vaccines. When he got out of the hospital, he walked up onto the balcony of the White House. He took off his mask and he said, "Don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it rule your life." Why would he have the military rolling out the vaccine? Number one, because they can deliver a company, a platoon to Timbuktu in 20 minutes. They're very efficient. But number two, the military is behind Trump. Trump trusts the military. And if you're going to be sending out a therapeutic or a vaccine in your name, you want to make damn sure that that vaccine doesn't get tampered with, that that vaccine doesn't get sold on the black market, that that vaccine doesn't get exchanged for something else. President Trump wants to use the military because the military is 100% behind President Trump, and he can trust them to take what he delivers in his name and get it to the end user without any chicanery or any tomfoolery in between. I've heard many people say what you say, many smart people say what you say, but I think sometimes we get too tuned in to wanting to believe bad news, and we hear so much bad news. From the beginning, President Trump has always said therapeutics and vaccines. He's said multiple times only the people that want the vaccine have to take it. Go back and listen to Donald Trump over the last 10 years. He's anti-vaccine, anti-vaccine. Listen to the debates when he was a candidate. He's anti-vaccine. He's always been anti-vaccine. And anybody that's trying to tell you that he's not is trying to fear porn you, to try to get more subs, and to try to get more viewers. And they're whores, and they should be ashamed of themselves. That's what I think. I respect you for calling in, and I'll give you the floor.
Okay. Well, you know, he's talking the pharmaceutical mafia as being great people. Which
Whoa. No, he's not. He just reduced the price of insulin. Don't yell at me. It's my show. I'll drop you in a New York second. Be polite. Listen.
You know what? Okay. You know what's in this Regeneron?
Something that makes you well, but you can't make a statement and not back it up. He just dropped the price of insulin 75%. The pharmaceutical industry hates Donald Trump because he's broken their monopoly. You can't say things that aren't true if you can't back them up. This is a great call, by the way. Thank you.
Anyway, he is selling these vaccine companies as being the greatest thing on earth, and these Regeneron companies.
You got to give me proof of him saying that. He's never said these pharmaceuticals are the greatest thing on earth. In fact, he said the pharmaceutical companies are a monopoly and they've got to be broken up. He said the pharmaceutical companies are crooks because they're charging too much money for things. He's killing the pharmaceutical companies because he's driving down their prices, and their golden geese are getting shot with a Glock 22.
All right. Well, you're not hearing what he said in the Rose Garden.
I hear every single word he said. You're trying to put words in his mouth that aren't there.
What?
You're trying to tell me one thing that all I'm asking you to do is back up what you're saying.
Any of those companies.
Say what?
They are not our benefit. More people die from these vaccines and have trouble from these medications than die of COVID.
And that's what President Trump has been saying since the debates.
Well, then why is he pushing these pharmaceutical companies?
He's not. He's bankrupting the pharmaceutical companies. He's bankrupting the pharmaceutical companies.
But he said they were a gift from God.
No, he did not say that.
He cured him of COVID. He said it was a gift from God in the Rose Garden.
He said that the medicine was a gift come down from God. Do you think that might have been a little bit of sarcasm, a little bit of flowery language? And I'll tell you what.
He's pushing the vaccine.
You have got your mind so made up that I can't confuse you with truth.
Well, no, you just have to research and really dig into it.
You are not telling me anything that you can back up with actual words from the president's mouth.
It's actual words. He's saying these pharmaceutical companies are great.
No, he's not. He's saying they're crooks.
No, well, okay. Well, the real crooks are, they're anybody that pushes the medical mafia. In my book, I worry about.
Who's pushing the medical mafia?
Donald Trump.
How can you say that? The medical mafia hates him. They hate him because he is destroying their profits. He is forcing them to provide medications at a reasonable price, or he's going around them.
Right. He wants to give it away, right?
How much money do you think a pharmaceutical company is going to make off something that's given away for free? Take your time. Do the math. Answer the question. How much?
I was in Costco 15 years ago, and they were giving
The answer is
away
zero.
flu shots. Well, how can they do that unless they want to exterminate people?
I agree with you 100%. And I've heard President Trump say that he wouldn't take a flu shot.
But his wife will on TV.
That's his wife. He doesn't control his wife. You married?
Okay. Well, that to me, if she's going to go on TV and take the first shot, that's promoting it.
Is that the president promoting it?
It's his family, dude.
Is it the president? And has the president not said, I wouldn't take the flu shot? He said on multiple occasions, the only person that will get the vaccine is the people that want it.
Right, the mask wearers.
And who walked up on the White House balcony and took their freaking mask off and said, don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it rule your life. Get out there. Who said that? Donald J. Trump, 45th president of the United States of America.
Okay, what if he said it because he knows it's not a real thing and he never really had it? Because the tests are false positive. And the inventor of the PCR test said it was never meant to diagnose.
I agree with you 100%. Think about this. If you're president of the United States, you cannot come out and say COVID's fake. It's not real. It's a sham. You just can't do it. But what you can do is walk out on the White House balcony in front of the world when you just got out of the hospital, take off your mask and say, don't be afraid of COVID. Don't let it rule your life. That is the closest that President Donald Trump can come to saying, this is a fake. This is a fraud. He says it's going to go away, and he's telling you it's not real. Don't worry. Don't let it rule your life. Take your mask off. Go out and live your life. What's your final thought on this matter? I'll give you the last word.
Okay, yeah, my final thought is I don't let it run my life. I never wore a mask.
Me either, brother.
Huh?
Me either. I've never had one on.
And, people have stopped me. I was in the Navy during the Vietnam War.
Thank you for your service.
I was, in some physical therapy, and I had to wear a face shield because I can't wear a mask.
Right.
And this lady, said, well, that doesn't do anything. And I said, lady, the COVID virus, if it is real, you need an electron microscope to see it. Do you think your little diaper is going to stop that? And she said to me, she says, oh.
Caller, please hold. I'll be right back with you. Sorry, I'm back with you. You said that the lady, you told her that her mask wasn't really working. You asked her, do you think that diaper works? What did she say?
She said, you sound like a Trump supporter, which, I am a Trump supporter because he is doing some good things.
I'm glad to hear it.
But it scares me when 5G and the vaccine, I think the vaccine is part A and 5G is part B. and it's going to be the calling of America.
Can I give you something to think about on the 5G?
Sure.
President Trump was pushing 5G, and I wonder why he was pushing it too. But all of a sudden, the Huawei, or however you say that company that was going to be rolling out the 5G in America, they're 86th, and President Trump stops talking about it. I think that the 5G that was going to be rolled out was going to be mucho bad for us, and perhaps the 5G that is now coming out is not going to be so bad. I'm not thrilled with 5G either, but I think that he knows more than we do, and there's much more going on in the background. So I remain hopeful. But listen, if President Trump starts doing things wrong, I'll be the first one to call him out on it. But right now, all I see is a man that is helping us make America great again and helping us keep America great. I appreciate your call. I'm going to move on to the next caller. Ladies and gentlemen, that was a fantastic call. You're allowed to disagree with me if you do it politely, which this gentleman did for the most part, and if you're interesting, and he was super interesting. So great call. Please call back again. We don't have to agree, but we can agree to disagree. You're my brother. I appreciate you, and I have great respect for what you said. It is late night in the heartland, and you're live with Jeffrey Daugherty.
Jeff, what's shaking, brother?
Thank you for holding. I apologize for that, but the calls are crack-a-lacking.
I wasn't long. It's not a big deal.
Thank you. What's on your mind tonight?
Well, I actually started watching your show back when you did the Yahweh is AI.
Right. I remember that one. I was on Coast to Coast with that as well.
Yeah, that was a really good one. I just wanted to know, do you ever speculate on who could be funding all this unfolding of biblical prophecy?
Well, I think it's biblical scripting. I don't think it's really prophecy, but I don't have to
scripting.
I don't have to speculate. I think we know who it is, and we can't really, identify a lot of times who it is because we get in trouble. But I think that we have studied it out, we've reasoned it out, we've put pencil to paper, and basically it is the Sanhedrin, the Illuminati, the Jesuits, the Limbs, the Freemasons. It's all one big club, and we ain't in it. And I think the ones running the whole show is the Sanhedrin, and it's never gone away.
Right.
What do you think it is, or who do you think it is?
Well, scripting, in computational terms, when you get into deep learning and you get into the whole AI thing, I think all roads right now are leading to blockchain technology, honestly.
Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing?
I think it's one of those double-edged swords where just like the religious scripting is, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know enough about blockchain to have an intelligent opinion on it, to be frank with you.
Yeah, it's basically once the data's there, it doesn't go anywhere,
Right. I think the things that people like it for, if I'm correct, is that it's open. It has inherent transparency, and it can't be controlled or hidden. But I don't know enough about it to know what the deal is. I really don't.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I just wanted to chime in and spark a little flame in your head, and maybe you'll dig a little deeper and see what's going on.
I will. Are you a cryptocurrency guy?
Not really. I got the beast vibes from it as soon as I did my research,
Yep.
So I sort of decided to not touch it or play with it.
Yeah, I couldn't snuggle up to it either. I had the same kind of it just doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, so, but I have done my research, and I'd rather not talk about it on air. I'd rather,
I
let you do
understand.
your own digging, do your own research, because you do a real good job of that.
I will do it. You've made the list. You've made my list. Blockchain. Anything
All right, brother,
else
you
on
have
your
a good
mind?
one, and it was a good show tonight, man. Real good show tonight.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Ladies and gentlemen, that phone line is open. That phone line at 913 area code 2790831. We probably got time for one more call. I'll leave the box up so I could get you if you call in. And the phone number again, 913-279-0831. I didn't get to do my commercial for my favorite people, the folks over at Focused Life Force Energy. They're great people. They've got a great product. It actually sends a high consciousness field right to you where you are. You can feel it, and it makes a difference in your life. Go to jeffreydaugherty.com. Click on the Focused Life Force Energy logo. You can get up to 30 days for free, or you can just get it at a great price. And once you get it, you will fight anybody that tries to take it away from you. It's Focused Life Force Energy. And we got a little gay little faggot. He called me one. I don't like that word. It just shows what a mental midget he is. And again, you are not allowed to disagree. You can state a simple disagreement, but you're not allowed to argue a point counter to mine in the chat room. You're not allowed to troll in the chat room. This is live call in. If you disagree with me, if you think I'm a POS, if you have the balls, make the calls. If you don't, have yourself a hot cup of shut the hell up. I'm the most accessible guy on YouTube. Every show I do, I got call-in time on that show. You can't hide behind your keyboard. No keyboard warriors here. If you got an issue, grab a tissue. If you got the balls, make the calls. Otherwise, have a hot cup of shut the hell up. That's the way it rolls around here, bro. Sis, you can talk to me. You can disagree with me. You heard the other guy call in. He disagrees with me. But he was interesting. He was polite. Didn't agree with me. Still doesn't. But he was a man. And I respect him. You little keyboard warriors hiding behind your big mouth on a keyboard. Bring it or don't bring it. But you ain't bringing it in the chat room. You can give a... Trolls always go to the front of the line. If you want to troll me, do a super chat. Put troll. I'll put you to the front of the line, baby. Front of the line. If you want to call in, I'll give us one more minute for a call to come in. After that, we'll have a big group hug. And we'll get ready for tomorrow night's show. I can't believe 2 hours have gone by. Call after call after call after call. They tell me we've only got 46,000 subscribers. That can't be true. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, Coast to Coast AM would have a hard time filling 2 solid hours of calls. Give yourself a pat on the back. This is a great, great show. It's a great addition to YouTube. It gives you a chance. I don't know of anybody else that throws open the phone lines for 2 hours and says, here I am, call me. Whatever you want to say, call me. If you love me, call me. If you hate me, call me. If you think I'm wrong, call me. But we've only had one guy that disagreed with me, and that was the great gentleman tonight. And I loved that conversation. It was a great conversation. It was a powerful conversation. And we're going to go ahead and close down the phone lines. Thanks so much for calling in tonight. But the phone line is now officially closed, ladies and gentlemen. The phone line is officially closed. I love that guy calling in and disagreeing. That's good radio. That's good YouTube. Do like he did. Bring something interesting and bring something that we can talk about. And don't be a delicate flower. You see how we kind of went back and forth, him and I? That's the way you learn. That's the way you learn. This is Late Night in the Heartland. How do you like the new background? We changed the font a little bit. I think it looks super cool. You can throw in a Super Pal chat if you want. Call in line. It has been shut down for the evening. We've only got 2 minutes left, or what is it? I guess we got about 5 minutes left. I really appreciate you guys. It's been a great, great program. I just wanted to show you something real quickly before we go, because I know some of us are worried. I know some of us are tense. Oh my gosh. Are we really going to win? Is President Trump going to lose? I just want to show you something, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I can find it real quickly. Let's go to my profile. I want to show you something that should hearten you. I want to show you something that should make you feel really, really good. This, ladies and gentlemen, is outside the venue at President Trump's event tonight. These are the people that could not even get in. And this is what I was talking about to Paladin about. They say that there were 70,000 people outside the venue. 70,000 people outside the venue. These people couldn't even get in. Look at that. Look at that. And like President Trump says, these are the real polls. By contrast, folks, I want you to notice this. How do I get back? By contrast, folks, notice this. Go to my profile again. And by contrast, where is it? This is Joe Biden. He had an event today in Phoenix. And of course, I can't find it right now. But they couldn't even tell that there was an event. They couldn't tell that there was an event. Nobody showed up. There was more Trump supporters heckling Joe. There was nobody there, folks. All we have to do is go out and vote on November 3rd. President Trump is going to win by such a huge margin that, as Paladin was saying, there's only a 10% that they can really cheat. President Trump is going to be way above that 10% threshold if we do what we're supposed to do. Go out and vote. It's very, very exciting. Many people with many great comments in the chat room. I appreciate you all so much. We're working hard. We're working hard to bring you the best entertainment on YouTube. It has to be entertaining or you won't watch. But we're also working very hard to bring you the best quality on YouTube. Chuck makes an interesting point. I like the way the caller came in seemingly against Trump, and by the end of the conversation, he said he supported Trump. That's what we're doing here, ladies and gentlemen. If all you hear is Trump's for the vaccines and Trump is a bad guy, he loves big pharma, and then you hear some actual facts that contradict that, it allows you to make a fully informed decision. I don't change minds. I really don't. I provide information that changes minds. That gentleman made his decision based on incomplete information. Once he had full information, he changed his decision. I'm just the mailman. Always remember that. And I am here to keep my appointed rounds. Salute to the great moderators. Salute to the great cousins in the chat room. Thanks to Paladin for spending some time with us tonight. Thanks to all of you that called in. I'll figure that thing out and get it to roll straight to hold if it can be done. Lady Justice says, thank you very much. Great show. Thank you, Lady Justice. I appreciate it. And I agree, it was a really, really good show. Well, guess what, folks? It is 1:01, and that means we are done. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian Whistleblower. This has been Late Night in the Heartland. And I want to thank you for making my day. We'll see you again tomorrow night.